Prepare for fear. 8 clips collected from phones, security cameras, and midnight feeds that refuse to be neatly explained. Each one is unverified. Each one will ride that thin line between plausible trick and something that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. We'll show what was captured, listen for the details, and ask the question everyone asks when the lights go out. What did we just see? Here's the roadmap. 8 moments. 1 through 3 build the unease. 4 through 6 push into the uncanny. 7 and 8 end with people and pets reacting in real time. Keep count with us. 8 is the promise. Let's begin. Clip 1. Submerged SUV. Unverified. TikTok, anonymous finder. We open on gray water and the sickly sheen of a river at dusk. The camera is handheld, unsteady. The person filming is close to the bank, breath visible, voice low. They point toward a dark shape half buried against the current, an SUV, swallowed almost up to the windows. At first it's just the ruin of metal and mud. Then on the phone's audio, a faint, thin sound, a child's voice, a syllable or two, as if captured from meters away and smeared by the water and wind. The next scene is later, after recovery. The vehicle sits in a lot, bands of mud running down its side. The filmer moves in. Inside, through a cracked window, something shifts. Not a full silhouette, a small motion against upholstery, a suggestion of movement, as if someone or something tried to reach, tried to adjust. The person filming keeps a hand over their mouth and keeps saying they didn't hear anyone at the site. No official report of a missing child was released alongside the clip. Investigators weren't shown. The footage ends with a hard cut. Possible explanations. Audio artifacts play tricks. Wind, water, and the compression algorithms on social apps can sculpt ambiguous human sounds from noise. The interior shift could be an animal that escapes the water, debris settling, or a lens glare that looks like motion. Ethically, remember that the idea of a child in danger is distressing. There's no verified report of a living person found in that vehicle. Still, the combination of the voice on audio and the later interior movement is an image that lodges in the mind. What would you feel if you stood at that riverbank? Clip 2. Hospital night shift. Unverified. CCTV. Night shift security footage. Picture a hospital corridor at 3 in the morning. Fluorescent lights hum and the cleaning supplies closet clanks occasionally. The feed is grainy and monochrome. A gurney sits at the far end near a double door. For a long second, nothing happens. Then, as if nudged by a breath, the gurney begins to roll. No figure in sight. Around the corner, a small medical cart glides down the hallway, continuing past cameras as if drawn by an invisible hand. The guard watching audibly inhales and whispers over the phone. His voice shakes. He radios another station.
The footage shows no other staff on camera. Later, the guard rewinds in disbelief. Slow-motion zoom highlighting a wheel catching an unseen seam on the floor before the cart accelerates. Possible explanations include mechanical tilt on the hallway, a recently displaced caster, or staff just out of frame moving it with a long pole for restocking. Hospitals are full of air currents from HVAC, and that can move lightweight equipment. Still, empty hallways are a classic anxiety trigger. Clean, quiet, and designed to hold life and loss in equal measure. The illusion of motion where none should be is unnerving. If this clip had happened at your hospital, would you trust the camera or your own eyes? If you're into deep dives into the unexplained, subscribe. We've got more to show, and yes, keep watching. Things get stranger. Clip 3. Young mother's house. Unverified. TikTok, young mother creator. This one lands in a kitchen that looks lived in. Child's magnets on the fridge, a half-filled mug, sunlight pooling on tile. The creator posted everyday clips, so the footage has that casual tone. Tonight she's home alone. At first, the video picks up faint whispers in the background, soft as breath, layered with the house's normal hum. The whispers become clearer and playback, 2 distinct tones, almost conversational, but no source is visible. Later that week, a different camera in the mother's bedroom records a quick, dark shape at the foot of the bed. It's not a shadow cast by a streetlight. It rises and stretches, almost like a person lifting, but then it floats upward, separating from any floor contact. The mother's reaction, recorded on her phone, is immediate and raw. She backs away, voice tight, calling out for anyone in the house. She ends the clip saying she locked the doors and slept with lights on that night. Naturalistic tossabilities, acoustical artifacts, distant conversations, speakers, or audio compression can make ordinary sounds seem like whispers close by. The floating figure could be a trick of light and hanging fabric, or an insect caught near the lens. Yet the domestic terror here is crucial. Being spooked in a place that's supposed to keep you safe is more intimate than a public scare. How do you separate a camera suggestion from an actual intruder in the dark? Mini hook. If you think home videos are cozy, number 4 will make your holiday gatherings feel a little less jolly. Clip 4. Christmas doll movement. Unverified. Home security camera. Woman homeowner. A house decked in twinkling lights and tinsel feels safe until a toy moves. A woman posted a clip from her porch cam, footage timestamped during the holidays. Beneath a wreath, a small decorative doll sits propped among ornaments. At one point, slowly, the doll's head turns. Then it slides sideways, its limbs shifting with a mechanical precision that is not caused by wind.
The owner posts a caption insisting there's no motor, no strings, and that the camera's angle rules out a gust from the fan. The uncanny effect of toys that act like people is ancient. Dolls are human proxies, and when they move, it plays with our sense of agency. Possible benign causes include someone off-camera manipulating a thin wire, a timed mechanism hidden under ornaments, or an editing splice that moves the doll between frames. Why did this clip go viral? Because it taps into the specific, stomach-tightening dread of an everyday object deciding to be animate. Weigh it: staged decoration prank or genuine anomaly? Both read as creepy. Decide what you believe, but be cautious about assuming intention without evidence. Clip 5. Hanging laundry figure at 3 a.m. Unverified. TikTok user Diego. There's a mythic hour people call the witching hour. Diego's clip leans into that mythology. He mounted a camera in a laundry room where clothes hang on a line. At 3 a.m., the frame shows what looks like a small, human-shaped form materializing between shirts, suspended mid-air with no visible support. It hangs there for a beat, not swinging, not touching the clothesline, then dissolves as if the camera blinked. This plays on our fear of liminal spaces, garages, attics, corridors where visibility cuts off. Technical explanations are plentiful: stitching artifacts from panoramic apps, double exposure from phone sensors, or deliberate frame overlay. The camera angle here is suspiciously perfect. Someone could have used a second camera to drop a lightweight figure in and out of frame quickly. Still, the visceral response is immediate. A tiny silhouette and domestic surroundings activates a deep protective instinct. Would you get up and check, or would you watch the footage again and again from the safety of your screen? Mini hook. Halfway through, and the next piece might make you reevaluate elevators forever. Clip 6. The elevator that won't stop. Unverified. CCTV. Alleged China, November 2015. Elevators are theaters of claustrophobia and liminality. This clip is often labeled as CCTV from a residential building, reported to be from late 2015. The feed shows an elevator cab pulling up to a floor, the door sliding open, then closing. The strange part, the cab descends past its intended stop, then returns, doors cycling as if the shaft itself refuses to pause. Viewers online called it a portal moment, the elevator behaving like a place where reality stutters. Possible mechanical issues: a miscalibrated controller, faulty sensors, or a wiring glitch that misreads floor positions could produce odd rides. Editing can also loop or reverse small sequences to create a repeating effect. Without maintenance logs or corroboration from building authorities, this stays unverified. The clip's power comes from a primal sensation. Doors open and close, but no one steps out. The world keeps going, and the elevator keeps refusing to follow the rules.
Clip 7. Closet curtain and cat. Unverified. YouTube, Justin. YouTuber Justin posted a day-in-the-life upload that took a turn. His cat wanders a living room, tail flicking, ears pricked. At one point, the cat freezes, stares at a closed closet with a light curtain, and hisses without an apparent stimulus. Then, the curtain bulges, as if something on the other side pressed against the fabric, and then settles. Justin's narration in the video is nervous but measured. He calls his viewers in to help look for an explanation. Animals often pick up on things we don't. High-frequency sounds, rodent movement, distant footsteps. Sometimes pets react to mundane causes, a mouse in the wall, a draft, and sometimes their behavior accelerates human fear because we assume animals sense the unseen. In this clip, the curtain could be breathing from HVAC, a string pulled by a prankster, or simply a heavy breeze catching fabric. The cat's focus and his genuine unease make the moment feel immediate and intimate. When our pets act like witnesses, we listen. Mini hook. One more clip, and it's the kind of footage that makes people run. Clip 8. Bed pushed. Unverified. Reddit. User menace to sobriety. This ends on a grainy home security capture of a bedroom during the day. A young woman lies on her bed scrolling her phone. For no visible reason, the bed shudders, then jerks a few inches as if someone pushed it from the floor. The woman bolts upright and flees the frame, breathless and terrified. The homeowner later posts pleading for explanation. Comments flood with theories. Consider the mechanics. Beds on casters can shift if a floorboard flexes, or a prankster off-camera could have tugged with a rope. Hidden pets can bump furniture. But the rawness of the reaction, the way the woman doesn't argue with the footage, she simply runs, is persuasive in its own way. Human behavior is compelling evidence of how people interpret their world. Her fear is not fabricated for views. It's immediate, honest, and unnerving. Closing roundup. We've walked through 8 moments that landed on our feeds and refused to sit comfortably in any single category: artifact, prank, malfunction, or unexplained.
On the credibility spectrum, some clips tilt toward likely environmental or mechanical causes. Others resist easy categorization and state genuinely disquieting. Which do you place where? The submerged SUV with its haunting audio and later interior shift? Plausible acoustic artifact? Or something darker? The hospital gurney gliding down a corridor? Mechanical bounce or brief paranormal? The mother's whispering home in a floating shadow? Lighting trick or home invasion of the uncanny? The doll turning its head among Christmas lights? Staged or something that makes you rethink animated ornaments? The laundry figure at 3 a.m., sensor artifact or apparition? The elevator that won't stop, wiring error or a doorway to something else?
The curtain and the cat, practical animal triggers or the pet detecting the undetectable. The bed that moves and the terrified flight, prank or real disturbance. We leave it to you. Vote in the comments. Which clip do you think is the most likely to be genuinely unexplained and why? Tell us your reasoning. Call out possible artifacts, point to camera angles, or tell us what made you pull the covers up tighter tonight. If you have footage you want us to investigate, send it to the email on screen. We'll credit sources and mark everything unverified until we can confirm. One final look. Think back to the smallest detail that refused to let go. A tiny hand-sized movement in a cracked window, a wheel catching on a seam and then sliding on, the slow turn of a doll's head. Which image will follow you to bed? Which of these 8 will haunt you tonight? All footage shown here is unverified. We do not claim ownership where not stated and have credited sources in the description. Which of these 8 do you think is most likely real? Drop your vote below, share your own experiences, and if you're brave enough, send us your footage.